Hello. Dear AWB, am I the asshole for making Goofer Dust? Okay. Dear AWB, I love your YouTube channel. During the hardest time of my life, my spirituality was changed learning about hoodoo, and learning about hoodoo helped me immensely, which now why I believe I was supposed to gain this knowledge from this trial. What I like about your channel is that you teach the ways of the ancestors did, and I had to look hard into to find your channel because I didn't want some white woman telling me about my ancestors. Ooh, ashe, ashe, ashe. I am leaving a very abusive marriage. I'm estranged from my biological family for many reasons, but the last straw was due to them choosing my aunt's live-in boyfriend over me after he sexually assaulted me as a teenager. It took a lot for me to walk away, and my life has been hard with no guidance from wise adults during difficult times, but I stood my ground and never came back out of self-respect. Ashe, ashe, ashe. I am currently divorcing my husband of 5 years. We were friends. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm currently divorcing my husband of 5 years. We were friends a long time before dating, and his life was a mess. He is a combat veteran with multiple mental illnesses, which when we got together, he talked a lot about how he wanted to clean up his life for the first 2 years of our marriage. There was genuine effort. He stopped putting effort into improving himself and our marriage. And after I got pregnant, which was his idea, I was reluctant to do it because I had one kidney from donating the other one, and my pregnancy with my son from a previous relationship, and it was so hard. Oh, wow. You gave your kidney away to somebody from a previous relationship? My husband was a good stepdad to my son, and I felt bad that my boy was an only child, so I went ahead. He treated me terribly while I was pregnant and postpartum. He even raped me once while I was breastfeeding my daughter. And I realized I was just repeating myself. He was never going to stop letting his dog piss and shit all over the house. Yes, he is Caucasian. He was never going to stop being a hoarder and never stop being a controller, and never allowed me to return to Puerto Rico, which was going to always going to clog the kitchen sink and spit phlegm into it. And I was always expected to clean it up without complaining, and it was impossible to keep up. While going to school, taking care of kids, and working long hours, caps. I decided for my mental health that I was not going to worry about him if I was not going to worry about him if he wasn't going to worry about him. I've had enough on my plate. We've been having the same argument for years, and he keeps promising to go to therapy and not doing it. He noticed I stopped caring, and when his abusive controlling behavior got worse. He knew about the appointment I had for months, but the day of the appointment, he invited himself and got mad that it took an hour and a half. He started yelling at me when I got in the car about how long it took. I thought he was being retarded, so I tried to get out of the car when he stopped at a parking lot, and then he sped while my body was half in the door and swerved the car. That's the closest I've ever been to punching someone in the face. Later, I told him I wanted a divorce, and he told me he'd make sure I'd never see my daughter again. So I locked me and her in a room, and he broke the door. After this, we all caught the flu. He laid in bed for a week. I was sick too, and at the end of his self-care session, I asked for an hour to nap, and he didn't even watch the kids. I kept waking up because my toddler was getting hurt because he wasn't watching her, and he kept slamming doors in the house. He timed my quote unquote nap to the minute, and he came to get me up, and I didn't say anything, and he was just so mad that I didn't thank him. I told him that, oh, hold on, y'all, hold on. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my goodness. Woo. He didn't even watch the kids. He kept I kept waking up because my toddler was getting hurt because he wasn't watching her, and he kept slamming doors in the house. He timed my nap to the minute, and when he came to get me up, I didn't say anything, and he was so mad I didn't thank him. I told him that I didn't actually get a nap because my daughter was crying from hitting her head, and he was slamming doors, and he started screaming at me to the top of his lungs in front of the kids about how I'm ungrateful and accusing him of things. And then he threw in my face the family member that assaulted me as a teenager. I was very calm. And I was like, okay, we're done. I'm getting a divorce. And he kept escalating. But my mind was made up. He knew there was no way I was staying after that, so he proceeded to terrorize me. He was waiting for some money to come in, so I was waiting for some money to come in so I could get out and counting the days. The apartment I moved into wasn't available for another month, so he spent the whole month I was stuck with him raping me and screaming at me, driving home if I didn't answer the text message fast enough, grabbing my daughter from me if we were cuddling. The day I was finally able to escape, I called his mom, my last-ditch effort as his wife, to get him help because obviously he was having a mental health episode. So I told her what was going on, and she said, "It takes two," and hung up. After this experience, I do believe one person can single-handedly damage a relationship. I tried to get a restraining order, but he cried during court, and the judge felt bad for him and threw it out. I am an African American on my mother's side, and I did not grow up in the United States. I believe that this is my first major encounter with systemic racism. He has continued to terrorize me by trying to sabotage my co-parenting relationship with my son's father, finding out where I live, sending the police to do welfare checks on me. He's tried to make me homeless. He got back with his first ex-wife, and people have reached out to me to let me know she is stalking me now, caps, exclamation point 3 times. Someone's paying for his attorney, and they are trying to take my daughter from me. He has affected me so badly that I have lost 30 pounds. When I sleep, I wake up screaming because I dream of him breaking into my place. I will sit in a dark room with the blinds closed so it looks like nobody is home. And oh my gosh, and I will just shake. I have tried freezer spells to get him to leave me alone and return to sender, and ignoring him, you name it, he won't move on. I was told in multiple psychic readings that he doesn't care about our daughter. He's just using her to have access to me, and he would hurt her to get back at me. This summer, I tried DMT and went down the portal where I was showed this guy has a serial killer obsession with me. I'm at my wit's end. This has been a year of my life, and the justice system won't help, and he keeps rescheduling court dates for months out. The only reason I'm so strongly affected is for my baby girl. I will do anything to protect her, and I can't live with what happens to him as long as she's safe. I can't live with what happens to him as long as she's safe. But I know it's hard to see clearly when you're in the middle, and I would like to do the right thing. Would I be the asshole for making Goofer Dust and using it on his ass? Okay. Baby, First and foremost, you, no, you wouldn't be wrong for using Goofer Dust on his ass, but you need to do more than Goofer Dust, because this motherfucker is a psycho. And what he's doing is using his white privilege because he's a Caucasian man. And what you need to understand by interracially dating, and I don't give a fuck if this is an unpopular opinion, if y'all get mad at me, but this is the way of the white folk. They have the magical power, for lack of a better term, to invoke, their white privilege to fuck you up. This is why the court ruled in his favor, because he came in as a vet crying and shit, and those white tears are powerful as fuck in our judicial system. So that's what he did. So yeah, he has an obsession, a unhealthy obsession with you. Yes, he's want to terrorize you, and his first recourse is him and his bitch, whoever she is, his ex-bitch, is going to invoke their white privilege to fuck with you, because he has every right to do so. Why does he have every right to do so? Because systemic racism, and because you gave him opportunity and space by getting with him in the first goddamn place. And I do not care if this is an unpopular opinion, but this is what happens when you have unhinged white people. Unhinged white people like to invoke that. They know that the privilege exists. They know they have this option. They know that you being a black woman, you're at the bottom of the totem pole and you are protected in this society. So the first thing he's going to do is invoke his fucking power to terrorize you. And that's exactly what he's doing. So now you need to invoke your motherfucking power and let Auntie tell you what to do. Death spell. Don't give a fuck if y'all email me or call me and tell me I'm wrong. Don't give a damn if you get in the comments section and say I'm fucked up for saying that. But the only thing that's going to help this motherfucker is for him to be put under and sent back to the hellhole where his ancestors reside. Because what the fuck is wrong with him? And and while you're at it, the motherfucker who violated you as a teenager, add his motherfucking ass to the list. And the family members that side with him, fuck them too. You know why? Because those children that are still in your family who are powerless, that perverted fuck is going to still violate them. And your family turning a blind eye like my family turned a blind eye when I came forward. Ashe. You hear me? I'm finna give you some nonverbal communication right now. In regards to the motherfucker that violated you. And I hope you understood what the fuck I said. And for your husband, and I hope you understood that shit. Now, for immediate, you didn't get a protective order. The courts are no help. You got to take this shit in your own hands. And if that means moving, if that means legally changing you and your baby girl's name and moving, do it. Do it. And I know that fucking sucks, but your priority, my priority, is your safety and your princess's safety and your little princess safety who you have in your custody right now. This motherfucker got serial killer tendencies. Why am I not surprised? I digress. Once he dead, change your name back to whatever you want. But right now, baby, it's beast mode time. You feel me? Handle your motherfucking business. Pop it. Coffin box. Cemetery. Licorice root. Goofer dust. And devil's claw. That's what the fuck you need for all them hoes. And they can catch this smoke. And I don't give a fuck. And y'all can come for me if you want to. And it's funny you mentioned this because I have Goofer Dust charging and I'm finna add to the AWB Botanica. Because, and then I see your motherfucking, am I the asshole? And I'm like, God damn, that's spiritual alignment right there, baby. I love you. And I'm sorry you got to go through this. And you didn't deserve what the fuck happened to you when you was a teenager. And fuck him and your auntie with her stupid ass. And anybody else who condoned that shit. I love you, and Ashe. I am the African witch bitch hoodoo practitioner. Handle your motherfucking business and send his ass back to hell where he came from.